So it's very likely that Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States, but this win isn't going to be earned really like it was last time. It's kind of going to be handed to him. But why is this? Stay tuned. Welcome to another Fruitful report where I just talk about business, economics, real estate, finance, totally freestyle, no music, no edits, just straight fucking facts. You already know. So a poll came out 2 days ago, and no, not a bullshit poll, a legit poll, even shared by the New York Times, that Trump is ahead in 5 of the 6 swing states. And not by a little bit, by a lot. Now, if I'm correct, in the last election that Trump lost, Biden won all of these 6 swing states. So it's pretty crazy that he's going to take over the 5 of the 6 already, and probably by the time the election comes, take over that last 6th one. Now, why is this? Why is he absolutely killing in the polls right now? And we can talk about it for hours and hours and hours, but it all comes down to the economy is absolute shit. Straight up. The economy is in shambles right now. And everybody's absolutely terrified of an absolutely worse recession coming right around the corner, and everybody's freaking out. That's why. Now, if you're a real investor or someone that just follows the markets, you know this isn't anything new or anything different under the sun. It's just cyclical. It's not necessarily that Trump is the best and he's just fucking crushing at his rallies, which he totally is, by the way. It's not really all of that like a normal election. It's just the fact that the economy is absolute shit, and it's time for that guy who's in at that specific time to go. And the reality is Biden won his election at a really, really shitty time, the worst time you could win an election, to inherit an economy that was already on the downtrend. It was bound to go to shit. And no, I'm not saying it's Trump's fault and he set this up. It's just how the markets go. It's a 4 to 8 year cycle. No matter what anybody does while they're in office, you can't override the cycles. And Biden won his election at the top of the cycle on its way down. So he inherited a bullshit economy, all from the pandemic, all from the stimulus, the inflation, the printing of money. It was bound to happen. Even if Trump won that election and he was in right now, no matter how good he is or what he does for policies or whatever he does, this was also going to happen. This recession was going to happen no matter what. And when a president is in during a recession, nobody likes you. I don't care what you say, how good your rallies are, how good your policies are. If you're in during a recession, it's most likely you're getting booted. Now, when Trump won his election in 2016, the reality was the economy was on fucking fire already. Obama did all of his stimulus after the 2008 crash, and it took a long time for that market to stabilize. But by 2013, 2014, 2015, that economy was ramping up. So Trump won again at that perfect opportunity. But on top of inheriting a good economy that was bound to do well no matter what, Trump did have amazing economic policy. Say what you will about the dude. He talks shitty. He says insulting things. He talks like a 6th grader. Dude, I get it. I hear everything you're saying. But his economic policies were fucking sound. So it just dumped gasoline on a fire of already inheriting an economy on its way up. It was destined to just kill. Now, if you don't believe me or what I'm saying, or you think I'm talking too highly of Trump, which I'm trying not to, I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can, check out this clip from a tech mogul and billionaire who absolutely hated Trump. Check out what he just said about him here.
Trump was elected, I was told that it was the end of the world, and that's what I thought. And I'd already underwritten him as an F, okay? And then 4 years into the presidency, he was probably a C in my mind. And then as I get a little bit of distance away, I realized, no, hold on a second. This guy was a B plus. He was pretty good. I voted for Joe Biden. I did, for the things that he was supposed to do, a good job. And for where every other president found a way to, frankly, make our situation a little bit worse, specifically around wars, he did not do that. And that is a huge accomplishment that I think needs to be acknowledged.
Now, I know the Fruitful report isn't supposed to have edits or crazy things going on, but I had to just drop this clip in to show you that if these kind of guys are now pulling back on their thoughts, a lot of wealthy people from California, San Francisco, New York State are also thinking the same, which is not good for the Democratic Party at all. And to be honest, this was kind of, my thoughts too. Back in 2016, I was a lot younger. I was in my early 20s. And when Donald Trump was running, even though I was in business, I was in real estate, I understood economics. Even with everything he was saying, I was like, dude, I don't really like him. He's saying some weird shit. I'm 23 years old. He's saying some shit about women. You know how it is when you're 23. You're more liberal. It's just how it goes. I was like, I don't really like this guy. I don't know if I'd vote for him. I don't really like him. But 8 years later, learning more about economics, I'm a little older now. I've been in business. I'm also a millionaire. So, I got money. I'm like, dang, dude, Trump was actually really good with his policies. I know he said some fucked up things. I know he said shit he shouldn't have said. tweets he shouldn't have tweeted, but like his policies, fucking solid. And the reality is he kind of proved it that trickle down economics works, which is what I talk about on this channel all the time about Canada and why the real estate market in Canada is absolutely atrocious, is because it's not built on trickle down, which means if you make it easier for rich people or people to get rich, to start businesses, if you make it easier for people to start businesses, it trickles down to the middle class. If I have an incentive to buy real estate, because if you lower taxes and make it easier for me to be a landlord, I'm gonna buy more houses. That's gonna increase the supply of rental housing. That's gonna lower the prices of rent. That's gonna help out middle class Joe and lower class Sally, because you made it easier on rich guy me. That's trickle down economics. Whereas the other way, the flip flop is trickle up economics, which basically means let's do handouts to the poor people so that they spend more money in the economy, which will then trickle up to the CEOs. They'll be happy, right? That's how it should work, right? The reality is that involves usually, almost always, raising taxes, putting in more regulation for fair pay, minimum wage increase, all these things. And you got CEOs and business owners, and especially middle-class business owners, mom and pop investors, people like me, just regular Joe citizens who are like, wait a second, I got to pay Dinky Doe John fucking $20 an hour just to show up at the door. That's the new minimum wage. Okay. So like I got to pay my top carpenters now, like what? Like $47 an hour to make it worth it because my first year apprentice is $20 an hour. I can't make any money on that. It's not going to happen. I'm going to have to charge like an arm and a leg to my customer to pay for this kitchen renovation. They're not going to agree to it because it's way too high. And this is why basically communism and socialism doesn't work. You're making it too hard for capitalism to do its thing, too hard for the general public, the private citizens to own businesses, to buy real estate, to provide housing. Why would I? It's too hard, too much regulation, taxes are too high. Why would I put in all this effort and only take home 47% of my pay after tax? What the fuck? I'm not gonna do that. I'm better off sitting on the couch doing nothing, getting welfare and CERB from Canada. Why would I even work? That's trickle up economics. That's how it works in the real world. I know it sounds good in theory, sounds good in the textbooks, but when you apply it to the real world, it doesn't work. We just saw it with the pandemic. Look what happened with CERB. Everybody's chilling on the couch, and then when it's time to go back to work, they're like, now I want $50 an hour just to show up to work. What are we seeing now? People are doing layoffs. We're in a recession. Businesses can't make money. They're like, fuck that. So they start firing people. It's costing too much. Now we're in a recession. Trickle up economics, we just have proof, doesn't work. Got to go back to trickle down. Make it easier for people to do business, to want to do business, and then you'll see more people get hired. They pay more taxes because they're working jobs. Government gets more money. They're happy. I'm happy. Middle class Joe is happy. Everybody's happy with trickle down economics. And on top of private citizens going, dang, when Trump was in, the economy was really good. Again, that was cyclical. That wasn't really only Trump. But you have more business people and smart people who were left-leaning going, dang, if I really look at it, I did better when Trump was in. If I look at his policies, they were actually pretty good. Well, I don't know. But on top of all that, there was no wars during Trump. Again, dude, this isn't a hype video for Trump. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can. So please don't make this video seem like it's just like pro-Trump. That's not who I am, really. And it's just like, it's not what I'm doing here. But dude, the reality is, if you look at the data, Trump was one of the only presidents in like ever, but especially in modern times during his tenure, to not start a war. That's like fucking unheard of for America. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear this happened. When Biden got in, like within a month or two of getting in, they started a war in Syria, started bombing Syria. Like literally, like as soon as this motherfucker got in, started bombing Syria. And now we have the Ukraine war. Now we got the Israel and Palestine conflict. Like, I'm not getting into that stuff, but like, let's be real. Just for a second, let's just assume if Trump was in, do you think that shit would really be going on today? I don't know. It's up for debate. Who knows? I honestly, just from my gut feeling, I highly, highly doubt it. Like the way that motherfucker spoke was actually insane. Like he literally would go on press conferences and be like, if you fuckers think about even touching anything, we're going to blow you to smithereens. Like he'd say wild shit like that. And like while it was funny and like kind of weird, like obviously like Putin and all these guys were like, I don't really want to fuck around. Because literally like as soon as Trump or Biden got in, like the Ukraine thing happened like right after that. That dude's been planning that for a long time, clearly. And is it a coincidence that it just happened like pretty much right after Biden got in? I don't know, dude. I don't know the whole backstory on it. I'm not some fucking historian, but And the fact that he made, mostly peace in the Middle East, peace with North Korea, the fact that he would even meet with Kim Jong-un, the fact that he would even meet with Putin, you know, that was taboo. You don't meet with those people. They're terrorists. Fuck them. We don't even talk to them. But the fact that he was like, you know what? I'm a business guy. Let's see if we can just make a deal. I just want to talk to him, see what's up, see if I can negotiate, give him a bit of what he wants, get a bit of what I want. And that's what he did. He's a business guy. We'll leave it for the historians for decades and decades from now to look back on what he did. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad. I don't know. But the fact that he would even meet with these people and just talk to them, sit down and go, yo, what the fuck's your problem? Like, what do you need? What can I give you to stop your doing bullshit? I don't know. That's what he did. Every other American president is like, no, I'm never talking to him. They're the absolute enemy. If they even move an inch, I'm going to blow them up. He didn't do that. I don't know. I think people are realizing like, yo, when he was in, economy was good. There was no wars, none of this Ukraine shit, none of this Israel shit. What else is going to happen? Iran's going to get in this war. Oh my God, World War III. Yeah, we didn't have that when Trump was in because he was super tough. He literally said on the camera, like we know that the U.S. government says this stuff behind closed doors. If you fuck around, we're going to blow you to smithereens. Don't even try anything. Don't even touch France. Don't even walk into Germany. You do that shit, you're dead. We know that the U.S. government said those things, obviously, in the background. Obviously, America runs the world. But this motherfucker went on camera and literally said, if you do anything, I'm going to blow you up. Like that shit was nuts. But I don't know. Maybe it worked. Maybe, obviously it worked. So all in all, the point of this video is that Americans have had fucking enough. Economy shit. They're literally afraid of getting drafted to war and going to World War III. Nobody likes what's going on. So whoever's in charge, they're getting the boot. Like I said, no matter what their policies are, how good they can be, doesn't matter. You're out. That's just how the elections work. And with millennials and Gen Z becoming the largest generation right now in the workforce, they're in the economy, and the fact that they're reverting to be more and more conservative, we've seen that with polls. Millennials are being more and more conservative than ever. Gen Z is way more conservative. Again, it's just the cycles, nothing fancy. It's just what happens. The pendulum swings. It's normal, happens all the time, not the first time. But we're becoming more and more conservative. We're done with this shit. Economy sucks. Wars are fucked up. Gender equality. We got all, it's just confusing. I'm not getting into that stuff. But dude, the world's crazy. We need to go back to common sense. I don't know. I don't really like Trump, is what people are saying. I don't really like the guy. I don't know. But when he was in, dude, I don't know. We had more common sense. None of this crazy shit. Teachers jamming shit down my kid's throat. I don't know. When he was in, it was more cool. That's all I'm saying. That's what the American public is literally saying in their polls. So what do you think? Are we going back to common sense? Is Trump going to just walk in and literally steal this election? Or you think Biden is going to run again somehow with his old age and win? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen?